What is up, my friend? Welcome to episode number 79 of the Anthony John Amick's podcast. And today I want to talk about how to be certain in uncertainty and the keys to thriving in any economy. So if you're looking for the edge over your competition and like you're desiring to find like this inner knowing that you will hit your goals no matter what happens, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Anthony John Amick's podcast, the one and only podcast designed to help you become unstoppable in life and business. My name is Anthony John Amick. My friends call me AJ, and my goal with this podcast is to help you remember who you truly are so you can maintain your center in the chaos, embody your potential, and unlock freedom in your life and business. That being said, let's get into today's show.
All right, welcome back. Now, before I hop into today's topic, I want to let you know I just finished putting on the final touches to a brand new training with my homie, Jonathan Heston. It's called the Transformation Triad, how personal brand leaders unleash their inner seven-figure entrepreneur and transform their business, industry, and life in less than 90 days. I'm here to tell you this free training will help you understand the 3 steps to personally rewiring and transforming your entire way of being in less than 90 days. This way you can escape the internal pressure that's keeping you feeling frustrated, unfulfilled, and burnt out, have unshakable clarity, confidence, and certainty, lead your industry, your market, your team, and your clients with driven inspiration, unwavering conviction, and power, and become the preeminent authority in your niche who is profitably pushing the world forward with your product and your service. So if you want to make the internal shift required to evolve into a market leader, a trusted authority, and domain experts in your industry, make sure you check out that training over at trainingwithaj.com. I'll tell you that there's no opt-in required. Like immediately when you go over there, you'll be able to have instant access to the straight up and incredible content. So simply just go to trainingwithaj.com to get access to that training and really learn what it takes to rewire and transform your entire way of being in less than 90 days. This way you can take your life and your business to a whole new level. So with that being said, let's get into how to be certain in uncertainty so you can thrive in any economy. Now, if you're not aware, we're still in the midst of a pandemic as of the date of this recording of this podcast. People are still freaking out. Many are upset. Many seem to be spending a lot of their time talking about how things should be or how they used to be. And let me give you a real quick warning. What I'm about to say, it may offend you, yet it needs to be said. I believe it needs to be said anyway. Any amount of time we spend talking about or thinking about how things should be or how they used to be is a complete and utter waste of time. Because things that should be aren't happening right now, and things that used to be aren't happening right now. Like it's time to rise above victim consciousness and embrace your ability to be a conscious creator. Meaning a conscious creator who is one of these people who's willing to step into the greatest power they have as a human being, which is the ability to be at cause for their life. Like a conscious creator is not living at the effect of their life. Instead, they choose to accept and experience everything they experience in this life as feedback and use that as to serve as the springboard to remember who they are, which is a conscious creator who's at cause, proactively creating their purpose, proactively creating their life here on this planet, regardless if there's a pandemic or not. Now, unfortunately, the vast majority of humanity is not taught to think in this manner. Instead, they are taught to bitch and to complain. And here's the crazy thing. It doesn't require any more energy to bitch and complain than it does to use the very same energy towards solving the problem. Now, if you're an avid listener of this podcast, you're probably already at a place where you've stepped into radical responsibility and you're like, yeah, dude, preach it, brother. Now, if you're new to this podcast and new to this idea, this way of living and being to be at cause, if this triggers you or offends you, I'm calling you out. Like it's time for you to rise above. It's time for you to step into your power and the potential that awaits you in your ability to be a conscious creator. Like I was randomly flipping through the Tao Te Ching the other day, I've read it many times before, but the other day I just had it sitting on my desk, and for whatever reason, I felt inclined to pick it up. And when I opened up the book, I opened it over to chapter 15, where it says, "The ancient masters were profound and subtle. Their wisdom was unfathomable. There is no way to describe it. All we can describe is their appearance. They were careful as someone crossing an iced-over stream, alert as a warrior in enemy territory, courteous as a guest, fluid as melting ice, shapeable as a block of wood, receptive as a valley, clear as a glass of water. Do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises by itself? The master doesn't seek fulfillment. Not seeking, not expecting, she is present and can welcome all things." When I read this, it just hit me, and I love this passage in the Tao, and here's why. It acknowledges that the master is willing to admit and be with the truth that consists of 3 simple words when it comes to solving problems. I don't know. I don't know. 3 very, very powerful words for those who are willing to step into their ability to be a conscious creator. Now, here's why this is vastly important to thriving in any economy and being certain in uncertainty. When you are in uncertainty, the truth of the matter is oftentimes that you don't know what to do. And your ego attempts to control the situation. Your ego is like, well, things should be this way, or things used to be like this. And the master, on the other hand, is like, the situation is what it is. How are we going to pivot our business model? How are we going to lead and inspire our teams? How do I manage my cash flow? How do I solve this big-ass problem I'm facing right now? The master will admit the truth. I don't know. And in this aligning with the truth, as the Tao says in chapter 15, do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises by itself? See, one of the biggest problems I see with many leaders is they are unwilling to cultivate the patience and the skill set and the body set it requires to wait until the mud settles. And as a result, they spray the wall with spaghetti, hoping, praying that something sticks. Yet they don't have the capacity or the willingness to use an ancient practice like breath work to tap into something way bigger than their rational thinking abilities to lead them to clarity. And as a result, they don't pivot fast enough, or they keep bashing their head against an invisible wall until they blame the government, they blame God, they blame society. Hell, they blame every single person except the number one person who's responsible, which is themselves. They're constantly looking for something or someone outside of themselves to come save them, when the truth is, no one is coming to save you. Not God, not Jesus, not your mother, not your father, not the government. If you want to be saved, it's up to you. And I'm here to tell you, the answers to your uncertainties are found inside of you. All of your answers are simply waiting for you. Within Project Shift, which is my premier personal development program for entrepreneurs, we teach leaders how to become comfortable in not knowing, how to become certain in the uncertainty. And we teach them how to leverage something we call the breath of clarity to guide them to their answers. And every single time an entrepreneur aligns with the truth of, I don't know, it seems like something within them it guides them to the next step that they need to take. Now, I know if I would have heard this advice when I was struggling, I would have been like, yeah, whatever, AJ, like that's some new age bullshit right there. You don't know me. You don't know my problems. Don't you know I have to find a solution now? I don't have time to wait for your airy-fairy nonsense. I don't have time for this feel-good philosophy. I have work to do. And I get it. And to that old me, I would say, enjoy the grind, son. When you get tired of working yourself into the ground, and you're ready to stop being addicted to the stress and the burnout for the sake of proving that you're enough, because let's be honest, that's why you work so much. I'm here for you. And when you're open, I can show you an easier way. And the crazy thing is the old me wouldn't have listened, even though it was true. There's an old saying that the teacher will appear when the student is ready. And I don't know how many students who are ready are listening to this podcast right now. But my hope is that it's you. And I'm here to tell you, if you want to be certain in uncertainty, it starts by you admitting the simple truth of, I don't know. And in the admitting of that truth and the aligning of it, I encourage you to stay open to and live in the question of, how could you create that which you desire? Like, give yourself permission to just live in that question. Whether this means you go run or walk or boxing or whatever it is while you live in the question, or meditate or do breath work while you live in the question, it doesn't matter. Just live in the question. Stay open in a place of curiosity, in a place of wonderment. And realize just because you admit the truth that you don't know doesn't mean that you're invaluable or not enough or not good enough. Now, the vast majority of people are running some bullshit success equation. I'll be worthy of success when I have or when I become X, Y, or Z. I'm offering you an invitation to realize that you're worthy simply because you exist. You have nothing to prove, nothing to defend, and in that, you can fully align with I don't know. And in the alignment with that, you can step into your ability to be a conscious creator where you create from a place of unattachment. Now, let me define unattachment for you quickly so we're both on the same page. Unattachment means to deeply care while making decisions objectively. Unattachment means to deeply care while making decisions objectively. So I'm not asking you to embrace apathy, like, whatever happens, happens. I'm not asking you to embrace apathy. I'm inviting you into the paradox where power is found. This way, regardless of what happens with the economy or your industry, you choose to live and create in the question of, what can you do right now with the mindsets, the skill sets, and the body sets that you currently have to solve the problem and create the experience you desire to create? See, in the paradox of being a conscious creator, you're not tied to things only being created this way or being created that way. Instead, you're tied to, how could I create and experience my desires? Like, you're tied to living in the question, staying in a place of curiosity, staying in wonderment. And in the paradox of being a conscious creator, like, everything is always working on your behalf. And the only way you will see this is if you get out of your head and get into your body. So my invitation to you today is this. Where in your life, where in your business are you attempting to force results rather than embracing the way of ancient masters who are patient enough to wait until the mud settles? And what may be possible for you if you learn how to go within and wait until the right action arises by itself? My friend, that's going to do it for this episode of the Anthony John Amix podcast. I hope this episode served you. If it inspired you in some way, I would love to hear about it. And I'd love to know, what is your biggest takeaway from this episode? Simply take a screenshot of you listening on your device, post it over to Instagram stories, and tag me at AJ Amix. And again, thank you so much for being here. Until next time, my friend, I'm out. Peace.
Well, that's all I've got for this episode of the Anthony John Amix podcast, but we have plenty more to help you become unstoppable in life and business. So head on over to ajamix.com for exclusive resources, information, and tools to help you break through to a new level of freedom, purpose and success. I look forward to having you back for the next episode. Bye for now.